Hi everyone, Lauren here with Join Project Freedom. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before I get into the topic of this video, I just want to encourage you to go to joinprojectfreedom.com. That's where you can learn more about this group and what we're all about. And just to be brief, Join Project Freedom is about providing opportunities to you to change your life. If it's to increase your income, if it's to change your line of work, maybe you want to be around for your family more often. That's what Join Project Freedom is about. It's about finding a solution to those problems. So again, go to our website where you can learn more about our opportunities. But this video I'm actually uploading to go over a particular book. So I decided to feature the book Developing the Leader Within You by John C. Maxwell. I have noticed that I've come across a lot of opportunities that offer me many benefits to changing my income level, to changing my life, as I just mentioned. But one of the issues that I noticed is that I was lacking leadership abilities. And I think this is the case with a lot of people, is that we're lacking leadership abilities, and that is a problem for us to change our lives to where we want them to be and to really to find success. So I'm featuring discussion on this video for over the next few weeks actually, and this is a group reading that I invite you to become involved with as well. But right now it's just me reading it, and I'm uploading content about it so that we can go over it and really figure out what we can do to improve our leadership abilities. So again, Developing the Leader Within You by John C. Maxwell. I'm going to be going over the first two sections right now and really just do it briefly. It's not going to take forever to go over this. But I would like you to think about the information that I put forth and to think about how you can apply it to your life and really what you can do to improve your leadership abilities. So in section 1, I wrote down the quote here. Section 1, what I thought was really interesting was this particular quote that John had written, which was, "Most people define leadership as the ability to achieve a position, not to get followers. Therefore, they go after the position, rank, and title, and upon their arrival think they have become a leader." And I thought this was very true when it comes to a typical job, when we think about moving up in the ranks, of moving up in our positions, climbing the corporate ladder. And I think that for many of us, even in school, when we're in class, I mean, what do we hear all the time? The quote, teacher's pet. We think that we have to kiss up to our boss or kiss up to the next person up in order to get to the next level. And so that's really a positional thing. It's not being connected with those around us or trying to help those around us and assist them with being successful. It's really about kissing up to our boss. And then on top of that, I think we also tend to assume that we have to step on people's necks to get up to the next level. I mean, whose task can we take over? Who can we push behind us so that we can go forward? And so that relates a lot to what he's saying here of a positional leader. And so I thought that was a really good point that he made there. Another point that he made in the first section of the book was that it is ideal to be around those who are like what we want to be. And I think that is so true, that if we have someone that we inspire, we want to be, whatever it is, if we want whatever it is that we inspire to be, if we want better income, if we want to be an athlete, if we want to be a particular type of author, whatever it is, it's ideal to really look around and find people who have already reached that level. And so I think that's really important. And I think obviously it's ideal to be around people face to face as much as we can, the person that is like what you want to be. But at the same time, I have found that simply adding someone on Facebook can be really inspirational. And so I've added some people onto my Facebook page, people that I know who are successful in what I want to be doing. And I randomly will see posts that they put up on Facebook and things that they're saying, things that they're doing, and it just snaps me back into that mindset, like, oh, he's doing so well in that, and that's what I want to do. So that's great. I think another great thing in terms of being around people that inspire us, people who are like what we want to be, is to read books by them. If they are at that level of being an author, then when we read their books, I mean, that's really, in my opinion, the closest that we can be to them, because we're actually reading their words. We're right there. We can skim over their words. We can reread it. I mean, it's in my opinion, one of the best ways to be around the people who are like what you want to be. So that was section 1. Okay, going on to section 2. Section 2 was about prioritizing, and I think that's really important as well. And so it was mentioned that if we poorly prioritize tasks, we spend time on things that aren't really important, we end up squandering our time. And when we squander our time, we don't get done what we want to get done. We don't reach that leadership level. We don't accomplish our goals, and that's a problem. So he said that he used the quote, 20% of your priorities will give you 80% of your production if you spend your time, energy, and money on the top 20% of your priorities. And so I think that's very true. If you focus on what it is specifically that you need to get done, then your production will increase and you will accomplish what you want to do. If you focus on what needs to be finished, it's very, very straightforward and simple to understand, I think. Okay, finally, this was kind of my favorite part out of these 2 sections, was this poem that he mentioned by William Henson. And the poem said, "He who seeks one and but one may hope to achieve it before his life is done. But he who seeks all things wherever he goes must reap around him whatever he sows, a harvest of barren regret." And I thought that was very true. It specifically reminded me of social media. That was what came to my mind right when I heard this poem, because I know that one of the biggest problems with social media is that there's just so many channels. We have Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Tumblr, and we want to be on all of them, but it becomes so crazy. It's like we spread ourselves so thin, going over all these different social media channels, and so we end up not accomplishing very much. And so I know it's been said that, pick a channel or 2, maybe it's Facebook and Twitter, that would be ideal for your business, and really hone in on those 2 channels. Figure out what can you do. Figure out advertising, how do hashtags work, and again, focus in on that and you'll most likely see results. So that's what came to my mind. But I know that this can be much broader, that, yeah, we hear about a lot of business opportunities out there. We want to get involved with so many, and we end up jumping from one opportunity to the next, to the next, to the next, and it turns into this big problem, and we end up often not just wasting time, but wasting money and not getting to where we want to be. So it's really problematic. So I would agree with that. Yeah, it's really, really great to focus in on one thing and really try to figure it out, try to scope it out before moving on to the next thing, because you're probably going to have a similar issue there. Okay, so that finishes up sections 1 and 2 of Developing the Leader Within You by John C. Maxwell. And I'm going to be continuing this over the next few weeks, covering sections 2 and 3, 3 and 4. And this is something that I'm going to be continuing on the long run. I'm going to be covering Think and Grow Rich after this book, and then whatever you guys recommend, whatever I find else out there. So this is really motivation for you guys to actually sit down and read these books so that we can pick up skills from people who have been successful. That's the whole point here. So again, if you want to learn more about Join Project Freedom, and I encourage you to, please go to joinprojectfreedom.com, and I'll be there to respond to you, to share information with you. I do webinars, I do all kinds of things, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a great week.